we can proceed. So the first part of it is just basically formatting your page. So it's just saying like margins, make sure it's 1 inch on all sides. The font, Times New Roman 12 point, double spaced. The first line of each paragraph indented a 1/2 inch. Running header, and the page number in the footer of the document. So really quickly, I'm just going to show you how to do that. So I'm just going to open a new doc. I'm going to go to my Google Drive and open a Google Doc. Alrighty, so the first thing I want to do is just type in the name of the whole project so I know. So I'm going to just put annotated bibliography, or I'm just going to put bib because I know that stands for bibliography. And then first off, I just want to change the font to Times New Roman, make sure my font size is at 12. Then I'm going to make sure that my margins are all 1 inch. That means like the top, the sides, and the bottom is all 1 inch. So if I go to I forget where it is. The thing is with Google Docs is it's really cool because if you need help, you could just go to the help and search the menus, right? So for example, I'm not sure where margins is like underneath all of this, right? And instead of me searching through it and looking for maybe 5 like to 10 minutes, I could just go to help and type in margins. So now I know that it's under page setup, right? So if I look for page setup, right, I'm able to see it. So if I go to file and go all the way down to page setup, I know where it is now, right? But if I'm still, I didn't know it was under file. If I just put page setup, I could always just click on it here, right? So if I just go to file, go down to page setup, click on it, I'll see that my margins, the top, bottom, left, right is all at 1. So we're good. So we don't have to do anything. So I'm just going to click OK. And then I'm going to proceed to the next step, right? So I already did the Times New Roman 12 point. Make sure it's double spaced, right? So I don't know why, but back in, I don't know, a few years ago, when I first like was required to do double spaced like essays, I thought it meant to write one word, press the space bar twice, then write the other word, right? I don't know why I thought that, but I did. But that's not what it is. It's the line spacing. So if you go where it's like where it says right align, center align, if you look for the 3 lines and the arrows pointing up and down, and you click on that, it gives you options. So like single, 1.5, or double, right? What you want to click on is double. I'm sorry, my dog is barking in the back. So you're just going to click on double. And now your page is double spaced, right? So then you're going to go back to the course ePortfolio, and you're going to make sure that the first line of each paragraph is indented a 1/2 inch. You're going to make sure that there is a footer. And it says if it's no title page, you'll just do the name, your name and the date in the running header, right? So your header is on top here, like it's on every page. So it's not where your cursor is at right now. If you just go slightly above it and double click, your header just pops up, right? So all I want to do is just put my name and then the date, right? So I'll put 11-18-2020, right? So I'll just have that as my header. And notice I can't click on it like that unless if I double click, and I could edit it again. But the thing is with the running header, it's going to be on every single page instead of you having to write it constantly over and over again. So that's just a good tip. And then is make sure the page number, I'm just going to go and do the page number really quickly. So if I go to insert, and I go down to where it says headers and footers, I'm going to look for footer, and I'm going to click on footer. Now it says the footer is here. I can click on options, and I could click on page numbers. And it says start at 1, show on first page. This all looks good, so I'm just going to hit on apply. So now it's in the left-hand corner, and let's just double check if that is okay. Yeah, it looks like it's okay. Also, if you scroll down on the agenda, there is a model for the annotated bibliography. So that's fine. I'm just gonna leave the number where it's at, but you could definitely move it. You could put it in the center. You could put it in the right-hand corner, but I rarely see it on the left-hand side. So I would pick either the right-hand corner or the middle. I'm just gonna leave it on the right-hand corner just in case. So as you see, there's my 1 there. So now my page is pretty much set up, right? Except the indentation for each paragraph, but we'll get to that, right? So what I want to do is add a title to here, right? So let's look on the agenda page and look what title I should put, right? So I formatted my page already. I'm going to write the title. It says annotated bibliography, cultural competency, and then add my major and or discipline. So remember when I was telling you to look for sources, I was telling you to go and look for cultural competency in nursing, in occupational therapy, in rad tech, in vet tech. It's whatever your major is, that's what you're doing the research on, okay? So that's why I'm going to just put my major. I'm going to pretend that I'm nursing for this scenario. So I'm going to go back to my Word doc. I'm going to click on the center align for the title. I'm going to put annotated bibliography. Annotated bibliography, it said cultural competency in nursing, which is my major, right? Competency, right? So now here's my title. I'm gonna highlight it and I'm gonna make it all bold. So I'm just gonna keep the title bold. Then I'm going to hit on enter and I'm gonna go back and click on left align so it can come back all the way over here. Now we're ready to start our annotated bibliography, basically, right? So first things first, I want to make sure that my indentation is in 1/2 inch, right? So the thing is with indents, right, you can go to where it is. You should say indentation. Okay, right here. It says format. Then I'll go to align and indent. Then I'll scroll all the way down and click on indentation options. So format, align, and indent, then indentation options. Then I would just click on that. And you could do like 0.5 left and apply it like that. But I like to focus where it says special indent. And right now it says none, but I'm going to click on it and I'm going to select hanging. Hanging automatically puts it to 0.5. So I'm just going to hit on apply. So now my indent is applied. Now I'm gonna go back to my sources now, right? So a bibliography is basically a alphabetized works cited page. So a works cited page is basically when you do a essay and you're referring to articles, you're just giving the articles, you're giving your reader what you used, like where they can find the article, who wrote it, so you're not taking credit for somebody's work, okay? So now we're gonna go look for our citations, right? So as an example, I'm just gonna go to the library homepage really quickly, and act like I'm looking for an article. So another thing about looking for articles, if you do not have your articles right now, I could just show you really quickly like my way of searching through the LaGuardia database. I know the librarian showed you, but you could do it either which way. So I feel I don't remember exactly what steps she took, but I think it kind of like works together. So all I do is go to databases, and I go to academic search complete. So once I click on that, it's going to ask me to log in. I'm just going to log in. This page always takes a little bit to load for me. I don't know why. Okay, so great. So now it says basic search, right? I could definitely type in something here, but I want to do an advanced search, right? So if I click on advanced search, now I have 3 columns to work with, right? So the first column, I'm going to type in cultural competence, and it comes up right away. And I'm going to put in my major, so nursing, right? Then I'm just going to hit on, there's a few little like options here, like search options. There's 2 ways to do this. So if I could filter it here, but I could also filter it once I search it. So if I hit on search, and now it gives me the options here. So I'm going to limit to full text. So now it's updating. Then I'm going to limit to again to make sure it's scholarly peer-reviewed journals. Peer-reviewed is just simply that other specialists took a look at the work, they made edits, they put in their thoughts, and etc. So it went through many brilliant hands, so I should say, right? So now I'm looking at the publication date. So it says it's from 1997 to now, right? So remember, all of these sources have to be within 5 years of of like the time. So I'm going to drag this all the way to 2015. Especially with health, research is always changing. So you just want the recent information. So now it says publication date is from 2015 to 2020. Right? And I feel like I did everything I was supposed to do. So now I have results of 10 and 330 possible articles I could use. For this example, I'm not gonna go too crazy and look for a specific article. I'm just gonna click on the first one. And now if you emailed it to yourself, there is a link within that email. You just click on the link, and this is the page that it's going to bring you to, right? So you're going to need this page. So first thing you want to do is to make sure that this is the right article. So if you want to browse the abstract and just remember what you have read and you want to use this article, cool. So you already know this is the article that you want to use. So the first thing that we need to do, we have to get the citation. So what I'm going to do, I'm on this page already. Right, let me just dismiss this. I'm on this page already, and I'm going to go where it says tools. It says cite. And I'm going to click on cite. Then it gives me all the citation formats, right? Does anyone remember what format citations are we looking for?
APA?
Yes, that's correct. So APA, right? So I'm going to scroll down and look for APA. So it says American Psychological Association. And here is the reference, right? So I'm not going to copy where it says references. I'm just going to go where it says Lin, right? Assuming that I know that this is in alphabetical order, because remember, I have two sources. So whichever one comes first in the alphabet, I'm going to put that first, right? But just for this example's sake, I'm just going to do it directly, right? So I'm just going to highlight the entire citation. I'm going to copy it. So I'm going to press Command C, or you can right click copy. I'm going to go back to my annotated bibliography. I'm going to make sure my cursor is there, and I'm going to paste it. So I could do right click paste or Command V. And now it's there, right? So really quickly, I just want to format this. So I'm going to highlight everything again. I'm going to select Times New Roman. I'm going to select the font size, which is 12. I'm going to unbold it. Well, I actually did my title as well. So let me just unbold it. Right? And if you notice, there's like a really, like, let me zoom in, right? There's like a gray cast on it. It's just because we copied it from the LaGuardia database, like the LaGuardia site, like itself. So how to get rid of that? All I like to do is just go highlight it again. And where you see like this little marker, it looks like a highlighter. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm just going to click on none. When I do that, it just goes away. So now we're good. So this is my first citation. Then I'm going to hit on return. And what I want to do is go back to where I got the citation. And then I'm going to go all the way down where the abstract is, right? And what I'm going to do is go where it says background. I'm going to copy the entire thing, including where it says abstract from author. So in no way we're claiming that this paragraph is all us. Nope, it's from the author, okay? No plagiarism. So I'm going to copy the abstract. So Command C or right click copy. Then I'm going to go back to my annotated bibliography and paste it. So Command V or right click paste. And the same thing, making sure that it's all formatted. So I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to make sure it's in Times New Roman, 12 point. And my abstract is there for this article. So I have my title. Well, I have my name, my date, and the header. I have my title. I have my first citation. I have the abstract from the actual article. Now, what you're gonna do is click enter, right? It started a new page for me, right? But this is where you're gonna put your reflective paragraph, right? So I'm calling it a reflective paragraph because I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's the best way to describe it. So if you go back to the instructions, right, this is where I got the questions from. So it says, what is the article about, right? So it says, list each citation in APA style with abstract beneath, followed by 1 to 2 sentences summarizing the article. So what was the article about in your own words, right? Then it says next, write a reflective paragraph about what you found. Wow, I didn't even know that they called it this. Like, I completely forgot. I feel like I came up with it by myself, but apparently I didn't. So write a reflective paragraph about what you found interesting about cultural competency in your discipline. Use the following questions to prompts to guide your reflection. So the first question is, was the article helpful? What did you learn? How will you apply what you learned from this article to your future profession? What ethical global issues can you identify in the healthcare across culture? In the environment, economics, education, nutrition, housing, hygiene, etc. The fourth question says, how will cultural sensitivity influence your behavior in providing utmost patient care? So this question is not saying like right now if you have patients or whatever like that. This is for your future profession, okay? So number 5, what would you need to learn to develop cultural competency? So you must answer, well, 6 questions, right? Because you have to summarize the article. So basically 6 questions in one paragraph. It doesn't have to be longer. and you're just gonna put that right under here, right? So if I go back to my annotated bibliography, I'm not gonna write it out or anything like that. I'm just gonna put reflective paragraph, right? So now what you are gonna do, oops, I spelled that wrong. So now what you're gonna do now, right? You're completely done with the first citation. So you're gonna do the exact same thing to the next article. You're going to cite it in APA using the LaGuardia database because they do it for you. You're gonna copy the abstract and paste it. Then you're going to write your reflective paragraph, which consists of questions 1 to 6, right? So including what the article was about in 1 to 2 sentences, okay? So now for the next citation, so this is how it would be, right? This is how it will be. The citation in APA, then the abstract from author, then you're going to put the reflective So that's how you're going to do the second article, exactly how you did the first article. And then you are completely done with your annotated bibliography. So if you have your paragraphs ready for your reflective article, your reflective paragraph, then all you have to do is just put it all together, format it, and you're good to go, right? So now you can go to File, you can go to Download, and you're going to download it as a PDF document. So I'm going to click on it, make sure it downloads, right? Great, I have it there. I'm going to go back to my ePortfolio page now. This is where me and your professor will be checking, right? And making sure that I'm going to coursework, first year seminar coursework, and I'm hovering over cultural competency bibliography. So coursework, first year seminar coursework, cultural competency bibliography. And I'm going to click on that. So basically the instructions, it's somewhat the same of where I have my slides. I'm going to scroll down. And where it says source materials, that's where you're going to put the actual articles, right? But I'm going to show you that in a second. So I'm going to scroll all the way down past those two, and I'm going to look for a completed assignment, right? So where it says completed assignment, right under it has a box that says PDF, XLS, PPT, and Docs, right? This is where we're going to put our annotated bibliography at. So I'm going to hover over this. I'm going to hover over this box, and I'm going to hit on the pencil and paper icon or the edit button. I'm going to go to replace this item. So I'm going to click on it. Then I'm going to go to upload file. And then you will always click on this and all your downloads will be here. But the only thing is my annotated bibliography that I just did is right here. So I'm just going to drag it and drop it. And I'm going to upload. Then you see it's here, right? But it's so small, it's going to be so hard to read. So I'm going to grab one of these bubbles at the end and I'm going to just extend it down a little bit. You don't have to extend it down too much, just so you could see a good portion at a time. So I'm going to click out of the box. Now it's scrollable. Now I can see my work. And once I do that, I'm going to go to the 3 lines. I'm going to go to publish pages. I'm going to hit on all pages, then publish. Just making sure my work is there. It's not going to get lost or anything like that. So now for the source materials since I did this first article, I have it open still, right? And make sure it's in alphabetical order as well. So right here, if I scroll to the top, it says PDF full text. Let me just check the chat really quickly. All right, so PDF full text. I'm going to click on that. And now I see the full text of the actual article. So now I see it's 15 pages. All right, cool. So now if I hover over it, you see there's like 3 options here. To download it is just the arrow pointing down. So I'm going to click on download. I'm going to make sure I save it to my desktop. Example, my desktop. So if I need something right away, I just save it to my desktop because I feel like it's just easier to find it. So I'm just going to click on save. Then I'm going to go back to my ePortfolio page and making sure that I'm under source materials. So the first article that's in alphabetical order already, I'm going to put it in the first box, right? Then I'm going to click on the pencil and paper icon, go to replace this item, upload file. Then I'm going to drag and drop my document and upload. Okay, great. So now my article is there, right? So now under source materials, I see your source materials, right? Then the second one would be the same thing. You would upload your second article the same way. Go to the pencil and paper, replace this item, upload file, and upload it, right? Then you're going to scroll down and make sure your completed assignment is there. And then you are good to go. So if you make sure at the end of all of this, right, you go to the 3 lines at the very top, you go to publish pages. I'm going to hit on all pages. I like to publish all pages just in case. And you see how it says published, 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 published. And now you see draft, and just make sure that everything is being published. So I'm going to hit on publish. And it says publishing. And we're just going to wait. All right, great. Now it says my pages have been published. In order to check it to make sure that I could see what my professor sees and my SSM sees, I'm going to look at the published view. I'm just going to click on published view. Now you could see what what your professor and I see, right? So now I see cultural competency, annotated bibliography. I see your source materials, your very first article, and assuming your second article is here. Then I see your bibliography, which is the completed assignment, right? So I see your annotated bibliography for the first one, see your reflective paragraph, and also your second citation, abstract, and your reflective paragraph. So that's pretty much it. Do anyone have any questions? Does anyone have any questions? So I'm just going to pause the recording